My name is Emily. I am 33 years old. I live with my husband Henry in a small house. Our life was simple. It was happy, but for many months, I did not feel right. I was always tired. Waking up in the morning was hard. My body felt heavy, like I had not slept at all. Henry was very worried. He was a kind man. He looked at me with sad eyes and said, "Emily, you need to see a doctor. I am worried about you." I told him it was just stress. I worked in a big company and sometimes it was busy. I just need more rest, I said. But he did not agree. He said, "No, this is not normal. Please, for me, let's go to a doctor." He found a new doctor for me. His name was Dr. Milton. Henry said his friend recommended him. He said Dr. Milton was the best. Henry took a day off from his work to come with me. He held my hand in the car and said, "Everything will be okay. We will find out what is wrong." Dr. Milton's office was very clean. It did not feel like a normal doctor's office. It felt expensive. Dr. Milton was a tall man with a serious face. He asked me many questions. "How long have you felt this way? Do you have any pain?" I answered all his questions. Henry sat beside me, listening to every word. He looked more worried than I was. Then the doctor checked me. He listened to my heart. He checked my blood pressure. After about 20 minutes, he sat back in his chair. My heart was beating fast. Henry held my hand. At last, Dr. Milton looked up. He smiled and said, "Mrs. Henry, I have good news. There is nothing wrong with you. You are perfectly healthy." I could not believe it. "Healthy?" I asked. "But I feel so tired all the time." He nodded. "Yes, I understand," he said. "But all your tests are normal. Sometimes our minds can make our bodies feel tired. You are just stressed. Perhaps you need a vacation." I was so happy. I smiled at Henry. He smiled back, but his smile was a little strange, but I was too happy to think about it. "Thank you, doctor," I said. "Thank you so much. I was not sick. I was just stressed. That was an easy problem to fix." We stood up to leave. Henry said, "Thank you, doctor. You have made us very happy." We walked out of the office into the waiting area. Henry said to me, "Emily, wait here for one moment. I forgot to ask the doctor about the payment." I nodded and sat on one of the chairs. The door to the doctor's office was a little open. I could see inside his office. I saw Henry go back inside. He did not say anything. He just reached into his coat pocket and took out a white envelope. He gave it to Dr. Milton. The doctor took the envelope and quickly put it in his desk drawer without looking inside. Then Henry turned and walked out of the room, closing the door behind him. He came back to me smiling. "Okay, let's go," he said. I was confused. An envelope full of money. Why? Why would my husband give the doctor an envelope full of money after our appointment? The receptionist was at the front desk. People usually pay there. They pay with a card or cash, and they get a receipt. But Henry gave him a secret envelope. On the car ride home, I was quiet. The happiness was gone. Henry was talking happily. "I feel so much better, Emily. I was so worried. Now we know you are fine. We should plan that vacation the doctor talked about. Where do you want to go? The beach or the mountains?" I looked at him. "Henry," I said, "why did you give the doctor an envelope?" He stopped smiling. "What are you talking about?" he asked. "I saw you," I said. "You went back into his office. You gave him a white envelope. It looked like it was full of money." He was quiet for a while. Then he said, "Oh, that? It's nothing to worry about. Dr. Milton is an old friend of a colleague. He has some financial problems. I was just helping him out. It was a loan." A loan to a doctor with a fancy office. It did not make sense. "A loan?" I asked. "Why would you give a doctor a loan in secret right after my appointment?" "Emily, please," he said. "It's a private matter. He is embarrassed about his problems. I promised I would not tell anyone. Can we please just be happy that you are healthy? Let's not spoil this good day with silly questions." Silly questions. He called my questions silly. I felt angry, but also confused. Henry had always been honest with me. I wanted to believe him, so I said, "Okay," but in my heart, I was not okay at all. The next few weeks were strange. I tried to be happy. I tried to believe I was healthy. I told myself the doctor said you are fine. Henry said it was a loan. Stop thinking about it. I went to work. I smiled at customers, but I still felt tired. One afternoon, I was working on the computer. I suddenly felt very dizzy. The world turned black for a second. My head hit the desk. My boss, a kind old woman named Mrs. Darcy, ran over. "Emily, are you all right?" she asked. "Yes, I think so. I just felt a little dizzy." She looked at me, worried. "This is happening a lot, isn't it?" she said. "You should really see a doctor." "I did," I said. "He said I was perfectly healthy." She said, "Well, perfectly healthy people don't almost faint in office. Maybe you should ask another doctor." Another doctor. It meant I did not trust my husband. It meant I did not trust Dr. Milton. But Mrs. Darcy was right. What was happening to me was not normal. That night, I told Henry about what happened at work. "Oh, my poor Emily," he said. "You are working too hard. The doctor said you need to rest. Maybe you should take some time off." He was so caring, so loving, but his answer was always the same: rest. He never told me to see another doctor. He never thought that Dr. Milton could be wrong. One evening, Henry was in the shower. His phone was on the table. It buzzed with a message. I never looked at his phone. I trusted him. But that night, I picked up his phone. The message came from a number saved as Dr. Milton. It said, "The next payment is due next week. Please don't be late." Payment, not a loan. My heart began to beat fast. He had called this number many times. My hands were shaking. Henry came out of the bathroom. He said, "Everything okay, honey? You look pale." I said, "Yes, just a little tired." That night I could not sleep. What was happening? Why would Henry do this? Was he trying to hurt me? Did he want me to be sick? The next day, I knew I had to do something. I remembered what Mrs. Darcy said. Another doctor. I did not tell Henry. I found a women's clinic in the next town. I told Mrs. Darcy I was taking a sick day. I took a bus to the other town. I was very scared. What if this doctor also said I was healthy? Then I would know for sure that I was going crazy. The clinic was busy and very different from Dr. Milton's office. The doctor was a woman named Dr. Lauren. I told her everything about the tiredness, the dizziness, the headaches. When I finished, she looked at me and said, "It sounds like you have been going through a very difficult time. We will solve this together." Dr. Lauren did blood tests and other things I did not understand. She said, "I don't want to scare you, but you don't look okay. We must check carefully and make sure it is not something dangerous." It took a few days for the test results to come back. I went to work and acted like everything was normal. Henry was nice to me. He cooked my favorite dinner. He said, "See, you are feeling better, aren't you? A little rest is all you needed." I just smiled and nodded. Finally, the day came to get my results. I took the bus to Dr. Lauren's clinic. I walked into her office. Dr. Lauren was not smiling. Her face looked serious. She asked me to sit down. My whole body was shaking. "Emily," she said, "we got your test results. You are not healthy. You have an illness. It is a problem with your brain. That is what makes you feel tired." I was not crazy. I was sick, she continued. "The illness is serious, but the good news is we can treat it. There are medicines that can help control it. People with this illness can live normal lives, but treatment should have started much earlier. It looks like you have had this for at least a year. Why didn't your last doctor see this?" I told her about Dr. Milton. I told her about Henry. I told her about the white envelope full of money. "He did what?" she said. "He told you that you were healthy and your husband paid him. That is not just wrong, Emily. That is illegal. He put your life in danger." My husband, the man who promised to love and protect me, paid a doctor to lie to me about a serious illness. He watched me get sick every day. He told me I was crazy. Dr. Lauren said, "You need to report Dr. Milton. And you need to be very careful, Emily. I don't know why your husband did this, but it is not what a loving husband would do." I was shocked. I knew the truth now. I took the bus home. I did not cry. When I got home, Henry was in the kitchen. "Hi, honey. How was your day?" he said. I walked over to the kitchen. I put Dr. Lauren's notes in front of him. I did not say a word. He looked at the papers. His face went white. "I know," I said. "I know everything, Henry." He put his head in his hands. "Emily, I can explain." "Explain," I said. "Explain what?" "Explain why you paid a doctor to let me get sick. Explain why you lied to me every single day. Explain why you made me think I was losing my mind. What is there to explain?" He began crying. "I was scared," he cried. "I was so scared, Emily." "Scared of what?" I said. "Scared of losing you," he said. "My mother, she had the same illness. I watched her get worse and worse. When you started having the same signs, I was very scared. I couldn't go through that again. I couldn't watch it happen to you. I just stared at him. This was his reason, he continued. I thought, if we didn't know, if we just acted like you were healthy, maybe it would go away. I know it sounds crazy. I know, but I was so scared. I found Dr. Milton. He was in debt. He needed money. I told him I would pay him if he just told us you were fine. I just wanted a little more time with you. I didn't want our life to become about hospitals and medicine. He did not do it for me. He did it for himself, to protect himself from his own fear. He was willing to sacrifice my health, my life, to avoid his own fear. Your mother, I said, did she get treatment? Yes, but you decided I didn't deserve it. I finished for him. You decided to play with my life because you were scared. I looked at the man crying, and I did not know him. He was a stranger. I love you, Emily, he said. I love you so much. That's why I did it. No, I said, that is not love. Love does not lie. Love faces fear together. It doesn't hide from it and let the person you love suffer alone. I went into our bedroom and began to pack my clothes. He said, please, Emily, don't leave me. We can fix this. I'll do anything. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Forgive you, Henry? The trust is gone. Every time I will look at you, I will see the lie. I will remember every day I felt sick, and you told me I was fine. I can't live with you. I finished packing my bag. I called Mrs. Darcy. I told her what happened. She said, you can stay with me, Emily. You can stay as long as you want. I opened the door and walked out of the house. I did not look back. Soon I filed for divorce from Henry. Sometimes the people who love us the most can hurt us the most. True strength is not ignoring problems. It is facing them, even when you are scared. If you liked this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.